Yes, well. Good evening. I only have just one bottle filled with water that I'll manage.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear
Yes,
me?
we can. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So
Yeah, good
let's
evening.
just good evening. Good evening. You can unmute yourself to say hi, to greet yourselves. You're welcome to the program. Good evening, everyone. Um, I'm sending my regards to every African's present. So you're welcome. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you. You can put off your video only if you just want me to see your face. But I think I can. Good evening, Francis. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. So we're just waiting for more people to join so that I won't have to, go in, starting over and over. So let's just give them like 5 minutes and we can start. How to get that? So, you can just go on the page right now. You can just go on like the WhatsApp page and encourage more people to join in. You can post on your status also that we are live and, for more of your farmer friends to join in. This promises to, be really interesting, educative, and entertaining, really. So can just do well to join in, invite more of your friends to join in. Um, yeah. Oh, I'm seeing everybody's face. You're welcome. So we are giving okay, so this 502, we have 3 more minutes for people to join in. So, go on our WhatsApp page, inform people, call them in, encourage them to come. I've tried my best as the moderator. I've sent in messages that we are live. But I think if we all come together, put something on the page, people will definitely join in better. So please let's go on the page. Go on the page. I don't know. I don't want to start calling names, but I'm seeing everybody's video. So, go on the page. You can just minimize the Zoom, go on the WhatsApp page, encourage people to join us. Encourage people to join us. We have over 400 people on that page, and we're expecting nothing less than 200 people. Nothing less than over 600 registered for this program. We're expecting much more, much more than 300 people before 5:05. So, go on WhatsApp, invite more people to join in, to tune in. This 5:03, we have 2 more minutes to wait for them before I start. Um, before I start, and once I start, I'm not going over. I'm just starting. So please go on board. Try as much as possible to invite them so that we can start. The page is opened already. The page is opened. The page is open. People have been sending in emojis since like I think 4:45. So let me check the time again. This 5:04. And Ghanaian, this will be 4:04. Am I right? 4:04 p.m. at
Yeah,
the
sure.
end. Yeah. So inform your Ghanaian friends that you joined together. Let everyone start coming on board. We have 40 participants, and that's just solo. That's solo. And people that are not showing their videos. Why are you not showing your videos? You don't want me to see your face. I must see your face. I must see your face. I must see your face. A lot of you did not show your pictures yesterday while we were trying to network and introduce ourselves. But today is another opportunity for me to actually see you. So if you were shy yesterday, you should not be shy today, right? All right, 5:05. So I think I can start. I can see some chats. Let me attend to that. The page is open. I think I've answered this person. The page is open. So you can just do well to join in. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm pleased to be here. Muhammad from Jalingo, Taraba State. You're welcome. All right. So I'm giving both formal and informal time. 5 minutes timing for people to come on board, formal time that I seek for from all of the participants, and 2 informal time that I had to off my video and stylishly wait for people to come on board. And I think within that time, we got 60 participants on board. So you're all welcome. My name is Adioba Mary, and I'm the lead strategist for Farm Global Technologies. Farm Global Technologies is an agribusiness startup that it came out of Double Tech Up. And as you can see me, I'm actually in my office presently in Ibadan. So we're a company that we are into, training and development majorly. And we care so much for farmers. We care for their growth. We care for their development. And one of the things we also do in Farm Global Technologies is to make sure that, there is kindly mute yourself. I thought we all talked about this on our WhatsApp page. I thought we had an agreement. I thought we all had an agreement. Please, once you are not speaking at the moment, kindly mute yourself so that you don't disturb everyone. We have people from different countries here, and we don't want to waste time. And different noise from any quarter can actually cause noises. So just try as much as possible to mute yourself. I'm cool with your face. When I want to be cool with your voices, I will definitely call on you so that you can mute yourself. Thank you very much. So as I was saying, Farm Global Technologies is a subsidiary of Tech Up, and we exist to make sure that farmers are more satisfied in the agricultural sector by providing them with training and development, by connecting them with appropriate buyers so that their profitability can actually be improved. I hope we all get that. So that's the summary of what we do in Farm Global Technologies. So
Yeah.
I hope we all grab that.
Okay.
So apart from this training is majorly for us to, we actually noticed a gap when it comes to farming in Africa in general. My face expression is really important, and I want you all to grab it. Like I hope everyone can see my face, right? So we actually noticed the fact that in Africa, as much as we can say that we are one of the frontiers, kindly mute yourself, please mute yourself. I don't want to mute everybody, please mute yourselves. Thank you, mute your speakers. Mute your speakers, thank you. All right, can everyone hear me now? All right, all right. So we in Farm Global Technologies actually noticed the fact that there is a gap when it comes to people that have retired. We noticed that a lot of people, when they finish, especially the trend of civil servants, most of us have them as family members. We have them as family friends. I hope we all grab that, right? When they finish from service, and even some of them, while serving the government, they find one way or the other to actually, get into the agribusiness sector. Now, the question that comes to us is that when they actually get into this, are they as profitable to even earn the level so salary or wages that they were being paid while serving the government without actually waiting for a pension, if being paid, if not being paid? I don't know if we grab that point. So, that was what we noticed, and we decided to, in synchronization of Workers' Day, why don't we help people in the sector that they really want to learn, they want to get it right, and they just need help to, they need some encouragement to just go about it. And that's why this program is definitely happening. All right. So I want to say that thank you so much for coming on board. Thank you for registering. I do tell people, I say that any step you take towards development, any step you are taking towards development, either joining a free program, paid programs, as much as people will say you can't learn agriculture online, as much as you can learn agriculture online, you can be encouraged online. You can meet people of like minds online. So as much as you can farm with WhatsApp, you can farm with Instagram, you can meet someone that will, that you can network with, and in times to come, you can connect together and, have some development when it comes to the agricultural sector. So that's one of the reasons that we're having this program. So let me also use this opportunity to, talk to you about this program. So this program will be holding for 2 hours. 2 hours. So let's make up our mind to be fully available. So this program will be holding for 2 hours, and we have 3 speakers. The first speaker is Mr. Babatunde Olarinwaju. I don't know if any of you have ever heard about Photox. My best friend works with the company, and I know the impact that they are making in Africa as a whole. So, he's yet to actually speak with us. He's yet to, answer some of the questions that we've prepared, and is in the mind of almost everyone. And we have Mr. Timothy Ayodele. Mr. Timothy Ayodele is one of the frontier of, agri-tech cassava production in Nigeria. I don't really know how to structure that in words, but these are people that they are doing well every sector, every space that they find themselves in the agricultural sector. And sincerely, they are giving it their best shot. They are giving it their best shot. Someone is saying they can't hear me. Have I been speaking to the breeze? I don't think.
I can hear you. Please go on.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's encouraging. Because seeing you can't hear me is like you're throwing me a bomb. All right. So as I was saying, so these are people that have given, they've given their best shot to the spaces and where they found themselves in the agricultural sector, and sincerely they are doing very well. And we have one of my dearest friends in the sector. Anytime we talk, I'm just persuaded, I'm just encouraged, and I'm just happy because apart from the fact that he's young, I love the way he's so, he includes everyone in the agricultural sector. I love the honor he gives when we talk. And, I just love the way he's into poultry production. I love the way he gives farming his best shot. And I think he's even one of the students of one of our higher institutions in Nigeria. And we've been partners for a long time in Farm Global Technologies, and I just love the way he works. And these are the three people you'll be meeting. We are so sorry that none of them is not from Nigeria, is not from Ghana or Congo or Kenya. We try as much as possible for our next free program or paid program to include, some speakers from all other African countries. And maybe after this program, we can just come up with, a Google kind of form where all other African countries present here can fill. You can let us know your specialization when it comes to training and development now, and see how we can work with you in the nearest future. So today's program, we have our CEO here, Mr. Dedare Oshosonya. So you have, let me just give you 2 to 3 minutes to welcome our participant and speak with us. Thank you very much, Mr. Dare. You have the floor now. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, it's nice having you on board this evening. I really don't have much to say because she has explained what we do, and what we're about to do this evening is something that is going to be a life impactful program for everyone on board. The aim of tonight's program is, for as many that are out there, workers, especially this is a Workers' Day edition, special edition, for as many workers, African workers that are out there, we really want them to have retirement plans in place. You don't have to get up to after you are retired or 2, 3 years or 1 year before you retire, you start planning for retirement. You have to start planning for your retirement now. And one of the means, or one of the ways you can start planning for retirement is to get involved in agriculture. So that's why we have brought up all our speakers, panelists. Please, can you hear me? Someone is saying I'm not talking loud. Am I loud, audible enough now? Mary, can you hear me? Hello, Mary. Hello. Hello, Mary, am I audible? Okay. Someone said we can hear you. So you don't have to keep waiting for, you don't have to keep waiting for a long while before you start planning for it. You have to start planning now. And that's where we have other panelists on board. So it's going to be an interactive session. It's going to be different from what you already know, like it's going to be interactive and we're not going to take much of your time. Please make sure you don't leave because there are so many things you have to gain from this panel, from this session tonight. for you to have access to a panel session like this, you have to pay so much, like 70K, 50K to have access, but you're having access to it for free tonight. Please stay to the end. And we have a very fantastic offer for you too at the end. And only those people that stay to the end will get this juicy offer. Like I said, I welcome you once again. Mary, you can go ahead. Thank you very much. Mary, are you still with me?
So thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the introduction. That was so much appreciated. I hope everyone can hear me. I hope everybody can hear me. All right, thank you very much. So, so we are moving to what we have today. And what we are doing is very simple. So this is how we are going about the training. Since we have 3 speakers, and we have a lot of people here, we are going to be having this as something very close to more of like a panel session. So I can see all of our 3 speakers. So Mr. Babatunde, Mr. Timothy Ayodele, Mr. Samuel. So Mr. Daria, please kindly unmute them. And before we start, I will just, go through their profile. I hope they are now unmuted, right? So that it will be easier for them to join in. All right, so let me just go ahead and read the profile of Mr. Babatunde. Then I will move to reading the profile of Mr. Timothy. All right. Can you give me some minutes? All right. So Mr. Babatunde is an agricultural extension expert with over 6 years experience. He obtained his B.Agric and Masters of Philosophy degree in Agricultural Extension and Rural Sociology from Obafemi Awolowo University and certificate in Agriculture Management Program from Lagos Business School. His interests are in food safety management system, agriculture produce certification, quality management system training, youth capacity building and development, gender equity, and community-driven development projects. He's currently the lead strategist of Futox Agriconsult Limited, a private agricultural extension firm that provides support to smallholder farmers and aggregators to achieve certifications such as Global GAP, Rainforest Alliance Certification, UTZ, Fair Trade, Halal, amongst others. Babatunde had worked under different national and international projects with various organizations such as Action Against Hunger, Palladium, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, SADC Research Center, IFAD, FGN, Regic, El Tayad Trading Co. Limited, amongst others. Is a licensed global GAP farm assurer, quality management systems, global GAP risk assessment on social practice, and PECB, Thank you very much, Mr. Babatunde, for gracing this program today. We really appreciate that. All right, so let me just all right. So the reason I get to mute myself and I can't unmute is because a lot of people will not just help us to have a smooth session. So the meeting notes are, you just have to mute everyone. So let me just go through the profile of Mr. Timothy. So Mr. Timothy is an agronomist, an agriculture value chain expert, crop system specialist, extension expert, certified Akilimo IITA master trainer, and agribusiness coach with over 10 years experience of working with smallholder farmers in providing technical support, trainings, and sustainable interventions, and technologically driven innovations to ensuring optimum crop yield, market linkages, and profitability. He has successfully mobilized over 1,200 smallholder farmers for interventions on the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, two-scale project in Nigeria, with a projected 3,000 farmers by the end of the year. So you are welcome. You're welcome, Mr. Timothy. You're welcome, Mr. Babatunde. Once again, thank you so much for accepting our invite. Sincerely, one of the things I love about the agricultural sector is this, and I'll be very sincere with that, is this. Number one thing I noticed in the agricultural sector is that the men in the sector, even they don't know that when it comes to farming work, they know that they take the lead, but at the same time, they just allow females to flex their muscles. Thank you very much for that. I think they call that gender equity, right? And the fact that in the sector, we don't form too busy for ourselves. The likes of Farmer Samson, Mr. Babatunde, Ms. Olabisi Sarah, Mr. Ebenezer, Mr. Emmanuel, Mr. Dare, everyone in the sector, once you call them to something, they just accept because they feel like we are holding our hands to do something better. And I think that's one of the things that I really appreciate in the sector. So thank you very much. So let's just, move to what we have this evening. As I've said, this evening, we'll be doing more of a panel session, asking most of the questions that you all have in mind. So that we can have a very smooth, session, I'll be doing the questioning. Now, if you have any question, just drop it on the chat box. I will definitely read it out to the speakers. I hope we grab that. On my end, I have very few questions. So in case you have any question from your hand, just send in your questions to me. Just send in your questions on the chat box. I'll definitely see it and I will attend to them. I hope we get that. So let me So let me start with this. Mr. Babatunde, Mr. Timothy, I hope you are ready. I hope your mic is already unmuted, right?
Yeah.
Are we good to go?
Yes, we can go on.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so the first question I have here. Can you give me some minutes? I'm coming. All right, so let me just say, the first question I have here is that what inspired you to actually become, say, a researcher, a farmer, or what actually inspired you to pursue the career you actually picked in sustainable agriculture? And what has been one of the biggest challenge and reward of this path? Please kindly put it in mind that this answer is to the end that, about to be retirees or retirees are actually learning and more encouraged, and I believe you do justice to that. So I was reading the profile of Mr. Babatunde now, and he's actually, let me say, my senior colleague, because I also finished from Obafemi Awolowo University, and I finished with B Agric in Agriculture Extension and Rural Development. And I can remember the first day I got that course, and following that career path, I knew the questions I got. So this question is to you. What actually inspired you to, become a researcher, become like all those things that we read, and what are the challenges you have? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you hear me all?
Yes, we can hear you.
So good evening, good afternoon, good evening for you are from any part of the world you are, or good morning if you are working from Australia or you are joining us from Australia. So why I actually got into agric extension, maybe is by I won't say it's by mistake, but I never put in for agric extension. So I found myself in agricultural extension and rural sociology. So, but one of my beautiful experience was the day I visited Agbagboro. For those people that came from Ife, they know Agbagboro. So I visited Agbagboro for a program that was some years ago. And while I was in Agbagboro is actually a settlement of farmers, where you see more there, you see more of the typical rural area. So I visited in the evening. I think it was in the evening or morning. So on getting to Agbagboro, as I was entering to Agbagboro, I felt this peace in me. I just felt this calmness, this sereneness in that environment. And within me, I actually heard something that this is where I'm meant to be. And that was what actually kept me to study agric extension. And I think that experience, I actually loved the experience. I wanted more of the occurrence of that experience. And that was what actually kept me to finish from agric extension. And when I graduated, I wanted to work in an agric extension company, work with farmers. I wanted to work with farmers directly. And I got a job, the first job. It wasn't farmer, but it was in agriculture. So sitting down in the office was something not too sweet for me. I just wanted to be interfacing with farmers until FUTOS was established years after. So one of the key challenges for me in the agricultural sector or in my career path is actually having mentors, people that can actually guide me through. Because then in my own time, I couldn't get mentors. I couldn't get people that have gone ahead of me that could actually guide me through, inform me of things that I can do. So I most times, everything I actually did were more of trial by error. I just did trial by error, trial by error, trial by error. Some actually succeeded, some failed, and it's also a learning for me. At different points in my career, I had to learn in the easiest way or in the hardest way. And that was also when I actually got also into the first thing I actually got interested is in certification. I love certification, but did not know what the nitty-gritty of certification before I met Mrs. Showe Moore of Okwe Farm. So my first experience was having to go through the training of Global Gap, that's Global GAP, Global Gap, and I became a farm assurer then, and that was 2017. So it was a very sweet experience for me becoming a farm assurer. Then from there, from Global Gap, I got to also have more knowledge on rainforest certification. Is also a sustainability certification. UEBT, that's ethical boundary, is also under sustainability certification. So in the sustainability industry, my exposure over the years has actually helped me to develop skills, technical skills to develop, I've worked in about 25 different value chains, about 28 states in Nigeria, working with smallholder farmers. I work directly with smallholder farmers, and it has been something joyful. And my biggest achievement is actually the day when I saw some farmers, they call me by name, that's in the northern part of Nigeria. They call me by name, and the day they actually told me that one of the experience was that, the reason why they actually kept faith is because of what we are training them, they are seeing results in it, in their daily life. And, working with them, especially when I work in Jigawa State, area of Gagarawa, Malamawa, those Gujungu area. One of the things I learned from them, working with them for 4 years, is that their income are getting better. They are getting more results, and they are seeing the impact of the work I do. I think that anytime I want to give up, I remember the joy on their face when they were expressing it. It always keeps me. Thank you. Over to you, Mary.
All right, thank you very much, sir. That was satisfying and that was quick. So I think we all had an agreement with the speakers, 3 minutes, and I think that was on point. Thank you very much, sir. So you used 3 minutes to answer the questions, because I know that there will still be a lot of questions from all of the participants. There will still be a lot of questions. And for all participants, please kindly go to our WhatsApp page and invite more people to come on board. We are expecting much more than 300 people, and we only have 74 participants. This is a free training. You learn so much from it, and we're expecting everybody to be around. Everybody to be around. Now, I can say one thing to what Mr. Babatunde shared now. As a recent graduate, I can testify to the fact that apart from working for the government, I think Food Talks and all other companies are the only extension startups in Nigeria that you can work for. I've not really made research when it comes to Ghana, Congo, Kenya. I've not really made those research. But when you say you're an agric extension graduate, you're not a lecturer, you want to work for like a real extension company, I think you'll be looking at Food Talks, maybe Sahel, and some other companies in Nigeria, and maybe the likes of some private companies like Olam that might be in need of maybe extension services in some areas, or maybe FMN if they need extension services. So I can like testify to that. So thank you very much, Mr. Babatunde. That was so nice. So in your experience, I'm directing this to, all of the speakers that we have. So in your experience, what are some of the most effective ways for farmers to market their product and build loyal customer base in today's competitive market? Before you go on to answer this question, let me bring it to a clearer light. Yesterday when we had an introduction session on our WhatsApp page, and I could see the major things that people were really doing. A lot of people, we saw few people that were in the academic part of agriculture, just few. And I could, if everyone could notice yesterday, I was so much interested in the occupation of almost everyone yesterday, because I wanted to see what people really do, like people that are in this program with us. So, you know, a lot of farmers are here actually. And this was one of the discussion I was having with my co-founder yesterday while we were speaking. We were talking, I and my friend, we were talking about something, and we were like, you know, farmers are doing so much in Nigeria, but are they really getting the profit that they should get? A lot of farmers have 30 acres of cucumber farm, 40 acres of watermelon farm. I was traveling today and I saw a watermelon farm that I saw the beginning, but I could not see the end. Like the farm was so large that I could not see the end of the farm. So, you know, this question is basically to let us understand how to make profit, how to build loyal customers that they pay for our services. So this question is directed to the two speakers, but it will be starting from Mr. Timothy Ayodele. Thank you very much. You have the floor now, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Firstly, let me start by saying thank you for bringing me on board. I don't take this for granted. I am so grateful. So a quick one. One of the biggest challenges many farmers have today is they just rush into agriculture. When they hear something is selling, something is working, maybe this year is cassava or tomorrow is maize, everybody wants to rush into it without taking time to answer some salient questions. Number one, what I want to produce, what I want to get engaged in, is it market driven? Who are those that need what I am actually growing or the service I'm offering? So I think the biggest challenge is that many people don't take time to answer some questions. They just, okay, I have some money or I have some little change. I'm going towards retirement like some we do. And, you know, they said, when you want to retire, you must have an investment. So you just go buy some land, invest in it and all that without taking time to answer some questions. And that's why so many get their fingers burnt. So the bottom line is, if you're going to start anything agriculture now, there are a lot of market channels. But you must first, number one, answer the question of why am I engaging in this? For which reason am I going into this thing I want to do? Is it just because they are saying it's profitable? Have I done what we call market research? Have I gone to look out for those who will need this? See, before you engage in any agricultural practice, whether crop production, any business, whether services or product based, you need to ensure that you have your customers available. Ensure that there are people who are going to need what you are doing. I always like using practicals to do what I'm doing. For example, you want to go into cassava. Like now, there's a year like cassava was selling so much, and so many people were just growing cassava because they said, of course, the price is high and all that. But people were not taking time to answer the questions of where am I selling to? Someone just goes, he gets some millions and he opens up lands. I've seen a lot of people do it, open 100 acres, and he just bulldozes the land, cultivates cassava. In 6 months, 9 months, 1 year gets to be, and the question is, where am I selling to? Or he cultivates maize. Am I looking at the open market? Am I looking at selling to the feed mills? So the first thing is you must be able to answer the question of why. So the first thing is, why am I doing this? So there are a lot of market channels. Maybe, of course, there are a lot of market channels. You can have, nowadays we have online market channels, a lot of online market channels. Just your WhatsApp status alone can get you a huge market. It just depends on your presentation. You know, at times I always teach on branding also, branding and presentation. Many people have wonderful ideas, have wonderful products, wonderful farm products that they want to put on board, but they don't know how to present it. How do you present this product or this produce to the market? Then which market are you targeting? Are you looking at, for example, there was a year I was doing vegetables. Let me use an example. And before I started doing my vegetables, it was in Ibadan then, I did a research. I did the vegetable farm, I love this Igbo Oloyin or Joaxis, for those that know or your state in Ibadan very well. I saw that there was a demand for a wedu, they call it kokos, along that axis. People go as far as Ojo to buy vegetables just to eat. So what I did was I saw my market strategy was to go through the schools, the primary schools and secondary schools. So I did my market research. I saw that there were over 20 schools along that road. So what I did was I went to go and meet, of course, to the teachers. And I was like, see, teachers, I have an idea. Do you people need a Wedu? They said, wow, we need it. We go as far as our job before buying. So what I did, I went to Grow and I started supplying them. They would book ahead. I was going through the teachers. So there was a strategy of a lead teacher who would come on board and help introduce it to other teachers. And every day I was selling vegetables. But what? I had my markets. And that was a different market channel. So before we go on, this topic is massive, but the first question is why? Many young people don't answer why. As a retiree, you have some money. Maybe they're paying you your gratuity. Why? Why do you want to go into this? Is it market driven? Those are questions that you really have to answer. However, there are a lot of market channels. Of course, online market is there. It hosts a whole lot of it, even the open markets. Take, for example, Nigeria today. Nigeria has over 200 million that eats every day. How much of that 200 million that eats every day do you want to buy what you are selling? That's a question you need to answer. Thank you. I don't know whether I was able to.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Timothy.
Yeah.
That was mind blowing. That was mind blowing. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you for also staying in the context of our 3 minutes so that people can also get to answer questions.
Yeah.
So I could see in the comment section someone saying that they were expecting, a kind of presentations and not question and answers. Well, we understand Africans, that we are Africans ourselves. And this is we've been holding this kind of training since 2020. And that's why the description of our flyers was not talking about any presentation. So this is more of like a panel session. This program, and as I've said yesterday on the page, is actually to encourage everyone in the industry and give you tips about how to get better and what you should do when you're about to retire, or if you are a retiree and you're in the agribusiness sector. Now, I don't know if people that were introducing themselves yesterday are here. The exact same thing that Mr. Timothy said, I said it yesterday. I think someone said something about wanting to invest in the agricultural sector. And I said it that please make sure you're available for this program so that you can know what to do and where to invest into. So I won't say much. So I will just call on Mr. Babatunde to also say something about this question. In your experience, what are the most effective ways for farmers to market their products and build a loyal customer base in today's competitive marketplace? Thank you very much.
Sorry, before Tunde answer that question, let me please say, for as many that are here today, please try as much as possible to take notes. Just take notes. Like, it's not everything that was all about presentation. Just make sure you are taking notes and you apply it after the training. That's the best form of learning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Timothy Ayodele, for that. I think maybe I should come to a different perspective. One thing about building a loyal customer is knowing where those loyal customers are and what will be their need. Many times people just go into agriculture because they've heard that the demand for moringa is very, very high. Now, a lot of people are making money from moringa. All cassava now is the big thing in Nigeria, so everybody is coming in. All rice now is the thing that you are going to get loan and you make a lot of money. And you've heard a lot of people saying, oh, I made from 1 million naira invested, I made 5 million naira from rice. You also started rice production. But in reality, the market is there, but with market, you need to find where the market is. And that is one key thing for us. We need to start doing agriculture beyond farming. And that is why many people have come and said, let us be agribusiness. Let's forget about, let us transit from farming into an agribusiness. Agribusiness does not see production as a culture. It sees production, it sees agriculture as a business. So which you need to identify where are your markets. You need to carry out your market research. okay, in this particular area where I want to produce ewedu, like you mentioned, how many people demands ewedu? When is the scarcity period of ewedu? When is the peak period of ewedu? You know that everybody does rainfall farming. Everybody will want to do ewedu. If ewedu comes out the same time, everyone does ewedu, you know the price will crash. So because of the price will crash, you can't carry a dozen of ewedu to market, they will tell you it's 500 naira, it's 1,000 naira, you are frustrated. You say this agriculture is not working. It's because you've not identified your market. One of the key things to have a loyal market is to know who are these your market and what are their needs. When you understand your needs, you will not develop a strategy where whatever you are producing is towards their need. And also, this could be a controversial statement. I always say, see, it's not with what we have right now, the number of farmers we have right now, if they really produce efficiently, we will get enough food to eat in Nigeria. Yeah, so anytime we talk about agriculture, we shouldn't always think about production. Agriculture does not start and ends with production. It starts actually with inputs. Right now, you will see that a lot of people still have problem of accessing quality inputs. Seed is a major challenge in Nigeria, but people don't know. It's a business that a lot of people just don't focus on, but it's only is that production. Fertilizer, to get quality fertilizer, I'm not saying all this fertilizer they will put and everything inside the fertilizer are all fillers. I mean, quality fertilizer is a big problem. It's a business that you can even create a market for it. So there are a lot of things you need to understand. Understand your market. Who are your market? Understand their needs. So when you understand their needs, you can create a business or a niche out of their needs. And when you create that, also get knowledge. Many people just want to produce without knowledge. Get knowledge. When you have enough knowledge about your markets, have knowledge about your people that you want to service, then what you need to do is that you need to build a way to retain their interest in your products. This is a big one that a lot of farmers, the so-called farmers, have not really, they have not really act, sort of. You see many farmers, they are supplying this market this time, but because they have not built a good relationship with the market, they are going to another market, or they just go to different market, and at the end of the day, the cost of marketing becomes so high that whenever they make the profit, it does not worth it. So we need to understand our markets, the needs of our masthead. So when we understand the needs of the market per time, then we can retain their interest by providing solutions to satisfy their needs. Thank you.
Wow, that was powerful.
I just wanted to add something.
Okay.
I think just as a sentence, I would say, like I mentioned that agriculture is a business. Until we begin to see agriculture as a business, then we cannot be assured of sustainability or profitability. It is a business. It is something, it is like you are doing a business, like you are trading, like you are doing a normal business. That's agriculture is. Until we begin to see it as retirees, as young people, like it's a business that every kobo is costed, everything is valued. It is something that you have to get the right market, to get the right strategy. Until we begin to see it as a business, then we're just wasting time. So I think this is where it starts from. Let us begin to see it as a business. And if it's a business, then everything that is done needs to be done as if it is a business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I love that. Good business for good people, for good solutions. That's lovely. Please, let's keep sharing online. We currently have 80 people participants on Zoom and 15 on YouTube. So you can either share any one of the two. Let's bring more people on board. We don't want you to just sabo everything in this training alone. Thank you very much. That was a wonderful advice there. So I will go on to the next question. I don't want to put much time by adding into it. So we are now going to the business of the day. And this part, I would like you to at least maybe spend like 4 more minutes so that people can really, African workers can really get more of what we are trying to do today. Today is International Workers' Day. I want to ask, what advice would you give aspiring farmers who are just starting out and want to build a successful and sustainable family business? What advice are you going to give workers who are planning for their retirement? As we all know, we know that a lot of people want to retire. Whenever they want to retire, they start thinking of what to do. How can I start? Where do I go to? You know, a lot of people are out there confused. So, but we know that agriculture can actually solve this problem. What advice will you give to workers who are planning for their retirement? How can workers plan for retirement considering the uncertainty of the retirement plans in most African clients? Then lastly, what strategies can workers adopt to ensure that they have a comfortable retirement plan in agriculture? Should I go over the questions again?
I think it's clear.
Okay. Okay. Tunde, you can start.
Thank you. Happy Workers' Day once again. I think I'll be so practical here, and I want to really talk to the retirees, and also the younger ones can actually learn from it. One of the key things, you know, I've worked with retirees, I've spoken with them in the past. I've seen that there are a lot of uncertainties in their mind. I think investing in agriculture is a cool thing. And one of the things is actually starting now before retirement. And for you to start, you need to start now. And one key thing for you to get first before starting agriculture, agribusiness, going to any enterprise is to get knowledge. You need to actually understand what is in the agribusiness space right now. What is it in your different countries? There are different things going on in the agri space. You need to have a better understanding of what are the things that are going on. Is it agri-tech? Is it snary? Is it hibiscus production? What is that thing? And after getting that knowledge, what is the gap in the market? What is the need of the gap? And when you understand the need of the gap, then you can set out. Now, first thing you need to understand is that, as I said before, agribusiness or agriculture does not start with only farming. There are different subsectors in the agricultural sector. There's the input sector where there's a huge demand for input right now in Africa. In different countries in Africa, there's a huge demand. Just imagine that every year we produce over millions and millions tonnage of different food products. Where do they get out to produce? It's seed. Some farmers, you know, they plant from previous seeds, some people for new seeds. That's a big business for you. You could look into that opportunity, seed industry. So when you see opportunity in seed industry, you can learn from somebody that is already working in that sector. You can partner with them to expand their business, and you can also establish your business, you know, through using their services. That's an opportunity for you. Another thing also in the agri space also is in the production itself. There is a huge demand for production. You know, when I started the project 4 years ago in hibiscus production, you know, people like hibiscus, zobo. What do people do with zobo? They are exporting it to Germany. And from Germany, it goes to Mexico. From Mexico, it ends in US. That's the pattern. Because zobo is one of the ingredients for most of their cocktail. So the demand of zobo is very high. Even in Mexico, an average house use zobo. They always put zobo inside their drinking water. That is how the demand is so high. And the supply is low. They are still looking for more. The demand is high. So there are different production that you can go into. It is not only in vegetable, it's not only in cassava, it's not only in rice. There are other areas. There is share, you know, some people are going into share production, tree crops, where they are going to produce that in the next 10 years. That's when they start harvesting, or 20 years. But most times, if you're a retiree, I don't always advise them to produce crop that their first harvest will be in the next 25 years. So, but for a crop that the harvest starts in 5 years, like cashew, is a good product for them, and different other tree crops that they can go. So they need to get a market, you know, understand the market demands and where these products are actually available. And another also areas they can explore is the area of processing. There are a lot of opportunity in processing. Most of our products in Africa, they are always sold as raw products. And that is why many people just sell raw product, and the value they get from raw product is minimal. So yours can just be, oh, I'm collecting these products, I'm building a business model where I actually aggregate raw materials. You see, the simple processing of drying could actually be a game changer, that you are just drying products. It could even just be that you are grinding it. So this is another opportunity for you. And also, another opportunity for you could be storage. This is a big, it's one of the biggest markets in Africa, storage. You know, you see, like in Nigeria, if I tell you that even the storage companies in Nigeria, they are not up to 100 in Nigeria. In Togo, they are not up to 20 in Togo. In Ghana, I don't think they are up to 50. Because there are opportunities there, but a lot of people don't see, the opportunity in the storage industry. Okay, Mary, are you stopping me?
No, please go ahead. You have.
Okay, so there are a lot of opportunities in this space. And also in the extension services, wow, there is a lot about it. So also also in the livestock industry, see, there are a lot of opportunity in the livestock industry. You can say that you want to go into fattening. Fattening, maybe cattle fattening, goat fattening, any fattening you want to do for the big livestock. And it could just be poultry. It could just be poultry that you want to go to. But you might say, okay, I'm not going into poultry, but I just want to go into aggregation of eggs. So this is also another side for you. You could just say, no, I'm going into a space where it's just hide and seek. I want to be collecting. There was a project I was doing in Maduguri, and I realized that most of the hides and the skin, the carcass from the cattle, they are actually being transferred from Maduguri to Kano. Then it's being processed in Kano and be distributed to many West African countries. But the problem they were having is that they were not getting quality carcass, because the people that are slaughtering it, they're only slaughtering it for the purpose of meat, but they are not having the mindset of leather industry. So because of that, most of the hides and skin from those areas are actually of poor quality. This one is just a big opportunity that, okay, if I actually train some young men, build a business where people can actually kill livestock in a way that the carcass, the quality of the hides and skin is being maintained. This is another business. So in all these things I've mentioned, you can actually identify what is applicable to you in your country. And when you see it, get knowledge. That's one thing, get knowledge. Don't just go into it with a lot of blind spots. Don't go into your business with a blind spot. Get training, get the exposure, and start small. And one thing I always encourage is that you have a plan. See, whatever is in your head is not a plan. It's what you have written down that is a plan. So write it down. How much will it take you to start this business? In the next 5 years, how do you scale this business? In the next 10 years, how will you scale this business? What is the return from this business? In the immediate, within 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And see, and also I always encourage retirees, 10 years before your retirement, please start planning. So that is when you start planting. Start planning 10 years before your retirement. Don't start planning your retirement few months to it. So thank you. Let me hit my mic here. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So I was not trying to stop you the other time. I was just, as you were talking, a lot of things were actually just flowing through my head, like sincerely. I've noticed this thing in Nigeria. I can't say in Africa, but in Nigeria. For example, once you open a shop, maybe in any street, and you're selling, let's say, biscuits, the next 3, 4, 5 shops that we open after that time, they will do the same thing. Like 1 or 2 of them will do the same thing. And I think that's the maybe mentality or what is maybe happening to us in the agricultural sector. We don't like exploring other aspects. For example, apart from the Code Up and maybe Eco Tutu, and some all other storage startup, as you said, I have not seen cold storage startup. And these are the things that we need. Ile-Ife there, you will see pepper wasting. Now to not talk of the likes of Lagos Market, maybe is it Mount 12 that they call it, the likes of K2, the likes of, tomatoes wasting. When you now come to Oyo State, Akinyele, you are stepping on tomatoes when you want to get anything. You can't go there with a white clothes. Tomatoes are wasting every day. So I just feel like, encouraging all farm retirees here. Production is not the only thing to do. It's not only, it's not only cucumber production, it's not only poultry production, it's not only fish, it's not only aquaculture. You can just major on selling dry fish. Like that's what you're just doing. I have a cousin that had an internship with University College Hospital, and she talked about a woman. The woman does not have a fish farm. What she does is just bringing catfish from one of her friends that does fish production. She just gets from her and sell to almost all the staff. This staff we get, like they will collect the fish. At the end of the month, some of them will be paying 15,000, 20,000 naira for like the fish that they got in the month. Like that month, they will pay to the woman. The woman was making full cash. Like I got her talking and she was like, she could not do the wall of aquaculture and she's really getting fulfillment from what she's doing. So I said that to say this. Kindly explore all other aspects of agriculture. Explore them. And, from the beginning of the training, we talked about market research, do your market research about what you are doing. And Mr. Babatunde also mentioned something. Please try as much as possible to make sure that, the venture you are getting into, you've really researched about it. And let's stop farming as if we are in the 80s. Let's be flexible about knowledge transfer, knowledge acquisitions. Let's be very flexible about it. It will help us in the long run. Let me just chip this in. There was one of my friends that went to a very particular Lagos community not too long, and he was talking about the fact that he got talking to a farmer there. I hope everyone can hear me, because these are like, this I don't want to say it's a testimony, but it has really been baffling me for a while now. This person said that he got to the farm settlement. This is a government settlement in Lagos State. And, he said he got talking with the farmer, and the farmer said they've been farming for 38 years, 38 good years, and they've not been making profits. He said someone now came to the farm, someone like a youth. The person is not up to 30 years old. The person started planting maize all year round, and the person was making profit, and some vegetables all year round. So they were surprised. They said for the first 2 years, they just noticed that trailers would come into the farm, pack maize, go and sell, come back almost every 3 months like that. So, in their village, they were like, we are not interested. So they saw him making so much money. So they had to, walk up to him and ask him, what are you doing differently? Why are you packing cucumbers almost every time? Like, now your cucumbers are always very big. What is happening? So he now introduced drip irrigation that he has been trying to tell them to use and they are not doing. This is Lagos. So what will be happening in Iseyin? What will be happening in Shaki? What will be happening in deep villages of Ogbomoso and not deep villages of Kumasi, Cape Coast and all other places in Africa? So I'm I said that to say this. Let's be flexible to knowledge transfer. Let's be flexible to gaining knowledge. We are farmers. If we keep doing it the way they were doing it then, we'll keep getting the same result. But once we open ourselves up to, other aspects that we can explore, we'll definitely get the result of what we are doing. So Mr. Oyediran Samuel, I don't know, you've been on board till morning. Are you hiding? We need you to, put in some input. You're welcome on board, sir. Mr. Oyediran Samuel, thank you very much for coming around. So let me just say this will be my last questions before I will start.
Sorry, please.
Sorry.
Mr. Timothy has not responded to the question.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, everyone. I just want to, Mr. Babatunde has said a lot. Let me just chip in that agriculture is a value chain. That's how we call it, the agricultural value chain. And along this value chain, when I mean value chain, it means there are several opportunities, business opportunities along the value chain. You know, he mentioned inputs. It's a massive value chain. Aspects of production. You know, most time we talk about production, but there are several aspects also. For example, processing, value addition. I'm fortunate to have been a part of value addition organizations. Currently, I'm on the board on the board of Cattle Foods. Cattle Foods is into a whole lot of value addition and processes using vitamin cassava. However, there are several other aspects. For example, have you ever thought of agro-logistics? When I was talking with someone, and he said one of the major problems of farmers is agro-logistics, and that sector has not even been tackled yet. A lot of farmers have goods on the farm, but they have a problem of transporting it to the market. So can you think out of the box and can you create a business model where you can, you know, solve that problem? Maybe get some vehicles and help these people that drive these pickups. They make a whole lot of money. I've spoken a lot of them. And you know, just a 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer distance, they're charging like in Naira like 10,000, 15,000. I'm like, how much fuel would they use? Maybe 2,000 Naira fuel, 3,000 Naira fuel. Settlement 1,000. They are pocketing a lot. So can you develop a model to solve that problem? So it is about solving the problem. You know, someone was talking about post-harvest losses. My brother was talking about it. There's a whole lot of room in that aspect. For example, we're in the mango season. Nigeria, we're in the mango season. Can you think of reducing post-harvest losses around fruits and vegetables? I've worked with, like I said, I'm still at the management of Cattle Foods, and over the years, we have tried out a lot of things. We've tried a lot of fruit chips. We've tried pineapple chips. We've tried mango chips. We've tried pawpaw chips. No additive, 100% snacks from pawpaw, from mango, from pineapple. We have that tomato that is perishable. We've turned it into powder. Onions, we've turned it into powder. I'm just trying to blow your mind that beyond production. In short, I'm an advocate for, like I said, I deal more with the value chain. There are a lot of opportunities along this sector. So as a retiree, you don't need to have a farm. It's not compulsory you have a farm. You can key into any business along this value chain. So there are a lot of it. Agritech, for example, we need freelancers. Some of you retirees are skilled at writing. Agri-journalism, that is another sector that if you can really create a niche around it, you'll be making a whole lot. I have a lot of friends doing that, and I'm making, of course, they're writing articles for companies in agriculture, and they are getting paid. For some, they are paid in dollars. You see, the bottom line is that you can look at you as a retiree. What is your skill set? What is that thing you are good at? Can you bring in that skill set in the agriculture and make money from it? Currently, now I'm taking a course in cybersecurity currently, and I'm seeing that a whole lot of people are going into smart agriculture, and I'm foreseeing that in some years' time there'll be a lot of issues around attacks, cyber attacks, in all these agri-tech and based companies. And I'm already preparing myself to solve that problem now. So my retirees, like they've mentioned a lot, fish farming, snail processing. I know people, there was one I trained some years back, and now what she's doing is snail processing. She's packaging her snails and sending it from Lagos to Kaduna. Snail value addition. There's someone I know that is doing frozen snails. All she does is she gets the snails, she cleans it, she freezes it, she packages it, and she's selling it. That is business. There's someone I know that has a snail pepper soup joint. That is agribusiness. You know, at times we always feel agribusiness is until you hold the one cutlass and you cut grass until you get your chicken. You can be creative. So look at what is that problem in your community, whether you're in Ghana, whether you're in Nigeria, anywhere. What is that thing people need? Solve the problem. So, and thankfully, you have a lot of speakers here who can, teach you around these things. No time will not permit us to go into details, but there are a lot of things you can do. Thank you. I think I'm done speaking. Yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank
All
you,
right,
sir.
thank you very much, sir. Thank you. So my last question for the day, last question for the day. So we've talked about, they coming into the agricultural sector, what to do, the sectors that they can go into, and we've talked about some of the, we've given a lot of farm retirees advices and what they can do when it comes to they ensuring that they have a comfortable retirement. So I will say that the last question I want to ask is that, and Mr. Samuel, you'll be the first person to answer this question. So what are the available opportunities? Is that, I think we've answered that. How can policymakers and government agencies support the growth of sustainable agriculture and make it more accessible to people from diverse backgrounds? So how can policymakers and government agencies support the growth of sustainable agriculture and make it more accessible to people from diverse backgrounds? Thank you very much. Mr. Samuel, you have the floor. Have you been unmuted? Mr. Samuel, are you there? All right. I think in the space of waiting for him so that we don't waste.
All right. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. I still can see your face.
Okay, I'm currently.
Okay, I can see you now. Yeah. I can see you. Thank you. You can go on.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Timothy and Mr. Babatunde has actually said a lot. It ignites the mind of young agro mind and the retiree that want to venture into agro business. One thing I have to say about policy is that we all need to be a voice for the voiceless, especially for the rural farmers that are producing over 70% of what we are eating. So if we don't start, we don't have anything to present for the governor or for the government that want to make the policy. So as a retiree, as someone that is working, that actually wanted to have a plan after the work, must start something, starting from knowledge gap. Because when it comes to policy making, a lot of, especially the government arms, they are not paying much attention to policy, and that's actually affecting a lot of people that want to start their agribusiness. And even the policy, most of their policy is even affecting the growth of the industry. Like, if you want to actually export some materials, some agricultural produce outside the country, you need to go through a lot of process that will strain you out. So, as a retiree, as someone that is working, one of my biggest advice for you is to start small and let people actually know what you are doing. Even when the government try to do the needful, implementing policy that will help every one of us to practice, it will actually come to your table. Because if you were not known for being a farmer, you cannot benefit from the right policy that we make. So, as the other speakers have said, let's try to actually get involved, because agriculture is sustainable. And I would like to be practical. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I can actually share some of the things that you can do as an agripreneur if with a little capital, even with a little capital. So, venturing into the business, we don't need to actually wait for the government, because there is little that the government can do. We can only help ourselves. So when government want to help us, at least there will be something that we can actually scale up with it. So the policy is there, but the policy is not actually helping more of the farmers. So one thing that we can do is to get started. So, and even as we are planning to retire, there are some things that we can do at the back of our house, and we'll be feeding our family and we'll be selling more from it. So I will be sharing my screen to, I will putting on the camera to explain some things that you can do, and you can even make more profit from it without waiting for government to implement policies, because we've been waiting for this policy that government, even to get land for farming, you have to go through a lot of stress. Aside the fact that some of us can just meet nearby rural farming and get a land there. So even to get a land is not very easy. So I'll be taking us through some of the things that we can do, even at our comfort zone, to feed ourselves and actually have some of the things to sell. So this is a poultry. Here actually breed your poultry as a retiree. You can see the nipple maker inside the wing cage. You can actually breed poultry and sell. And one of the things you can do is sales of nursery, sales of seedlings. You can grow seeds. This is pepper seedlings. You can grow and you can sell. As a retiree, you can grow seedlings and you can sell. You can sell seedlings. And this is what we call ugu farm. You can sell ugu. You can plant and you'll be able to sell. You'll be able to sell. You'll be able to sell more, and you'll be able to feed your family. So instead of waiting for us for government to intervene, you can start something with what we have. You can start something with what we have. That
I think we have lost him due to his movement about the network. So we can go on to the next.
All right, no problem. I think we lost him due to the network. Mr. Timothy, over to you in a very brief. We have a lot of questions still waiting for you, Mr. Babatunde and Mr. Samuel, from the participants. So, the question I asked was, how can policymakers and government agencies support the growth of sustainable agriculture and make it more accessible to people from diverse backgrounds? I hope you get that question, sir. Mr. Timothy, do you get it? All right, so you have the floor now, sir. Mr. Dari, can you please unmute Mr. Timothy, please, so that they can.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the time. So government policies actually have a way of affecting agriculture, but not just agriculture, generally, even our livelihoods or our businesses. So the question is, how can we work? So let me just frame the question in a way that how can we, despite the policies, still make headway in agriculture? So the fact is that the policies will always be there. There are some that will be stringent, there are some that will be hard, there will be some that will be flexible. For example, one of the idea of registering businesses was a good one. There was was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago that they allowed this free business registration? I can't remember, where they allowed people to register their businesses for a cheaper amount. Yes, that was a policy. That was a good intervention. So many people went ahead to register their businesses and all that during those periods. That was a favorable one. However, there are also some that will definitely affect. For example, one of the issues we're having now is with market, with pricing. In Nigeria today, there's no stability in market pricing. and it's affecting the commodity, the price of all market goods. So you can, say, expend this in cultivation, and when you get to the market, it's sold at a cheaper amount. There's no market in policy in Nigeria. So those things will be there. So one advice I would give for us as retirees is, beyond these policies, let us look at innovative. That is why I always like innovation. There are policies, but there are still ways you can be innovative and still be sustainable despite these policies. Take, for example, let me just use an example of cassava now. When people are growing cassava, but you know that I know someone today that is using cassava flour to make kuli-kuli. Who knows kuli-kuli? What does think kuli-kuli? There are people that are using cassava flour to make kuli-kuli. She saw that the price of granules alone was high, and she wanted to service the market. So what did she do? She brought out her innovative mind. Okay, what other solution can I provide? What other way can I do this and still be sustainable? So as retirees, we've talked about so many things. The policies will be there, but can we look at ways of not, allowing the policies to shrink our ideas or shrink us and not make us, come on top in our businesses? So there are different ways we can do this. Like I've said, innovation, knowledge gap, networking, collaboration. Let me use that way. In agriculture today, whether you're a retiree, you can collaborate. Collaboration is key to these things. These are ways we can, bypass the government policies that are stringent and still make a headway. So let me not go too much on this. I think there are just things I feel I should share with us. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. That's really nice. Mr. Babatunde, I don't know if you have anything to add. Just very brief, so that we can go to the questions that people are asking. Just very brief. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I think from the government perspective, people have talked a lot. I think one of the things I want us to do as a retiree, one is build a strong credit point. I saw that many of us actually get salary every month. And from our salary account, we can actually build a credit point that could actually help us to have access to loan. Yes, it's actually loan. Because for me, many people will always discourage that don't start a business with loan, but I have a different perspective. So it's getting good credit point, which is very good. Number two is that you need insurance. See, forget about all the money you have put into your business. Insure your business. There is virtually nothing you cannot insure. And that is why most time I don't talk about government, I talk about what you can control. Insure your business. Whether you have an input company, whether you have a farm, whether you are a processor, whether you are a transporter, any business you are doing can be insured. And that is why I encourage everyone to insure their businesses against theft, against fire incidents, against insecurity, against some basic things that you could have actually, just bounce back. And this is very, very key because you have to insure yourself. And right now, there are policies now that the government has, let me say, has done, especially when it regards to insurance. Right now, when you want to collect your money back, especially if you insure your business and the insurance company is doing all sorts of things, there are processes you can follow that do not take within a year, you get your money from them. So let me hit my mark at this point. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that question. So before we move forward, let me just assure everyone, we have over 100 participants presently, both on our media platforms, because this program is actually being streamlined, and on this Zoom platform. So for those people that are just joining, I'm saying you are welcome on board once again. My name is Adioba Mary, and I'm the lead strategist for Farm Global Technologies. So yeah, welcome. All right, so let me just assure you that we are a startup that is into providing solutions for farmers. Mr. Timothy here is one of our partners in Farm Global Technologies. There was a physical training we had last year, And he even brought some experts from IITA to the company. As you can see, I'm inside our training room presently in the company. So, we're a registered company here in Nigeria, and we have our office here in Ibadan. So, for questions like, so before I move to the major questions, for questions like, there's a question here for people asking that, can they download the meeting later on? The meeting is recorded, so you even get it on our media platforms. So you can just go to our YouTube page and get to see them. Now, for someone asking for, please, I want to go into almond farming, but how do I get the seed sold? Is my problem. I need an advice. So, you can always reach out to Farm Global Technologies. We have solutions to these things. As I've said from the beginning of the meeting, we have a marketplace where farmers actually sell their produce. We have people that sell inputs that we can connect you to. So, you can reach out to us and let us know how you want to go through it. Thank you very much. Then there is someone asking about, kindly guide me on how to start growing cassava, maize, and soybean on the same feed. That is why we have partners like Mr. Timothy Ayodele, and we have trainings for this. So, once definitely you're on our pages, you're on our page, the WhatsApp page, there are going to be different flyers of programs that will be sent to this page. Once you see the one for cassava, you can just join in. And let me just use that to chip this in. Kindly wait till the end of the program. There are fantastic offers for people that join in this program. So please just kindly wait through. We're almost done. We have about 40 minutes to end this training. So please just kindly wait through. And if you wait through to, you can also get the contact information, of our speakers, so that you can follow them on their social media pages. You can get to see what they share. For example, now I follow Mr. Babatunde closely on LinkedIn, and I read his letter to my farmers almost every time, and I've been learning from that so much, because Mr. Babatunde, I'm actually one of the farmers.
We are waiting for the time he's going to write.
So thank you very much. Have you? So thank you very much. I really and sincerely enjoy letters to my farmers content almost every time. So thank you very much. Thank you for the contribution to the farm body, to the agri space. We really appreciate your contribution. Thank you very much. So let me go to another question that was asked that will be directed to our speakers. So there is a question here that, don't you think going back to the African ways of farming and developing our innovations around the African ways of farming will be the best to improve agriculture in Africa? Mr. Babatunde, Mr. Samuel, Mr. Timothy, I don't know, will Mr. Babatunde be going first? So I'll be reducing the time to answer these questions to 2 minutes. So let's be very brief so that we can release people as early as possible. Thank you very much. You have the floor now.
Yes, so we can actually go back to the African way, which is organic. Well, one thing about it is that the population is increasing. We are increasing. So the African way needs to also improve. And that is why we need more of R&D. Also, we are not developing local capacity. In different countries, you realize that most of the R&D organizations are all owned by international bodies. Take for instance, in Nigeria, we have IITA. You see a lot of money being spent in R&D, and actually got it from USA and some other funding donor organizations. If you go to Ghana, you realize that the biggest R&D, I think, is ICRISAT. You go to different countries, you realize that they are actually owned by international organizations. And that is why we need more private-driven R&D that can develop local capacity. Thank you.
Okay, I think let me just quickly chip this in. Yeah, so from what you've said, it's actually very, very important to develop, to see how we can integrate our local content. Let me just explain this to us. A lot of technologies that are being introduced now in Nigeria, for instance, are taken from our local content. For example, there's someone that I know that has developed what we call a cassava peeling machine. A cassava peeling machine that can peel cassava. What he did was to study the way cassava grows in Nigeria and use that idea to develop technology around the varieties of cassava in Nigeria. We have some that have imported from China in the past and has not worked. So a lot of technologies that have been done in Nigeria today, as I speak now, a lot of people are actually utilizing the local ideas. That's why most times when we do some researches, we go to the farmers to get feedbacks on them. We learn from them. How have you been doing this? Oh, yes, it is this way. Okay, this way has not been working. Can we take some knowledge from what you are doing and bring innovation and juxtapose it together and bring out something that will work for our current situation? So I think there are a lot of things going on, like my brother said, R&D is going on, but we need more private-driven R&D. The government is trying, but so much is not working yet. But a lot of content is actually coming down to localize things. Organic farming is there, but it's not something that is so sustainable yet in Nigeria. So I think going forward, a lot of improvement is coming to that sector. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Samuel, are you there? Mr. Samuel, are you there? All right, let me go to the next question. I think his network is not, his network will not allow him. All right, thank you. You have the floor, sir. Briefly, sir. Thank you.
So going back to the traditional way of agriculture, a lot of people, a lot of youth, and a lot of retirees it's not that they don't like farming, but we don't want to be associated with this backdating subsistence ways of food production. And no retiree will want to go back to that. So there was a scenario that happened in Okiogun. I go there for rural agro support, and I was introducing them a hybrid tomato seed. They were telling me that we've been planting these things before you are born. And I was explaining the profitability of these things if they can do it very well. So, and one thing I do is that I try to have a demonstration farm in Okiogun, Agua local government, where the farm was irrigated and I planted hybrid seed. I was able to get what they used to get on 3 acres on just like half acres of land, and they were amazed. So we need to integrate technology and modern ways of doing agriculture to our traditional method of farming. And let's look into poultry production now. A lot of the population is growing. Can we continue doing our local beds? And the protein is what the body needs for a normal existence. And so we can improve on our traditional ways of production, and we can bring innovation and technology to the traditional way of food production. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That was quick. Thank you. Since you've been with us for a long time, I think these are the things that we also structure out and talk about when we're having our trainings. Be flexible. I'm saying this and I'm saying this and I'm saying this again. Be very flexible. As a female, recent consultant in the sector, and trying to lay my hands on a lot of things, I'm faced with that for a long period of time. In fact, they will let you know that they will ask you the year you were born. They will not tell you the history, like that year, what happened that year in Nigeria, what happened during the farming sector, that year. They will not let you know that you are not enough to come and advise them. And this thing is actually helping them to still stay at a point. I think I was just listening one of my older farmer friend about hydroponics, that I was just talking and I was like, we can even now plant on. I was actually using our local language. I was like, we can now plant without even soil. We don't need soil again. I was just joking around with it. And he was like, I should forget it. How will you plant without soil? How will you plant without soil? You know, we should be flexible enough to encourage, you know, technology, improve our farming, you know, our African way of farming. I think it will actually improve our yield. So let me just pick one or two more questions that, for questions that I can answer here, I will just go ahead and answer them straight so that we can release ourselves as early as possible. Okay, so someone said he has not been hearing the moderator. Please hear me, please. I hope everyone can hear me. Please hear me. Thank you. All right, so someone asks how he or she can venture. Okay, the person will be a he. I'm saying Mohammed. How can I venture into smart climate agriculture in Nigeria? I think I've said it and I'm saying it again. There was a time last year that almost all the topics of the training that we were having in Farm Global Technologies was just about climate smart agriculture. There were paid programs and people were actually paying for it. You know, we have programs like this. So just stay tuned to any of our pages that you belong to and follow through with any publicity that will be dropped on the pages. Then, you know, you can get engaged. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. And you can just, you know, apply for them and you get to learn. Then in our area, Upper West region, our main food is TZ, which is prepared from maize or millet flours. Women go through the process of preparing this flour by themselves. Now, how do we convince these people? These people buy through someone preparing them in large quantities selling. I think, you know, the use of extension agents can come in, you know, to help you speak with them in their local dialect, explaining the advantages of them buying from that person selling in large quantity and helping these people that we're buying see the importance of, you know, getting from this person and what they can actually gain from it. Thank you very much. In addition to...
I would like Tunde to just chip in something as gathered.
All right.
He has a lot of experience in that line. Maybe
All
just
right.
4 minutes.
All right, Mr. Tunde, you have the floor. So this person is saying that,
can you repeat the question?
Hope you got the question. All right, let me go again. So the person is asking that in our area, this person is looking like a woman to me, or maybe a male, I don't know. So in this person area called Upper West region, their main food is TZ, which is prepared from maize or millet flour. He now said women go through the process of preparing the flour by themselves. He's now asking, now, how do we convince these people to buy through someone preparing them in large quantities? Thank you.
Okay. I think one of the key things for you when we are actually, because this is actually a change in habits. So there's an habit that's already established by the women. So you need to actually, one of the key things for is, as she said, the work of agri extension is key for you. It needs to want to sensitize the women of the perceived benefits of actually buying a large from maybe a company that has done that, because they need to see value. So if I see value in pounding, the pounding, you need to also understand why do women pound? Because sometimes we fail to really understand why some of the activities are being carried out by women. So you need to understand why do they pound. You need to identify, is there a pain point? Because that pain point they are having, that is how you are going to use to market the products. So is there a pain point? So some of them could say, oh, after pounding, I don't have time to enjoy my husband. That could be their pain point. It could be that after pounding, the second day, I won't be able to do a lot of work. So when you will understand their pain points and what they go through in pounding, and also understand the benefit you get from pounding. Some of them could say when they are pounding, is actually a period for them to air all the sadness in their heart out. So we need to understand that. So when you understand that, there is now what we call BCC is a behavioral communication change strategy. You need to develop a BCC strategy. So the BCC strategy, you will now develop different messaging. So different messages in which you can pass out to them. It could be through group meetings, it could be through jingles, it could be through community sensitization. You need to pass it. You need to message it and pass it to them. It could be through graphics, it could be through maybe most of those women are actually, they are maybe religious, it could be through their religious centers, just strategic places where they can constantly see the message or hear the message. And actually out of the message, what you craft out is also how this your innovation is helping them to solve their pain points. Gradually, you see a change in behavior, because behavioral change is not something you change in 1 year, sometimes not 2 years. So it's a gradual process. So they constantly see it. And as they constantly see it, they say, oh, let me try this for the first time. That was how poundo yam become a common food now in Nigeria. Because a lot of the Southwestern believe that they have to pound yam. They have to pound it. If you don't pound it, it's not like poundo yam. But gradually, you see different messages of why poundo yam is the easiest thing to have. Why poundo yam will ease them of the stress. And people started, changing gradually. I think let me stop at that point. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the answer. And I want to use this to encourage the students that are maybe among us, that maybe you just saw the flyer by chance, and maybe you are in one course in colleges of agriculture, and you're thinking, I think this training should have opened your mindset to a lot of things and let you see that there is space for everyone in the agri sector. I hope you see how important agri extension is now. So to those persons that asked that question, you need the help of extension agents to help you. So thank you very much. So there is another question here. In addition, okay, that person was just adding to what the speaker said. So another question
I think we can go to the, sorry please, I think we can go to the next agenda so that we shouldn't run out of time. Yeah.
All right. So for someone asking about snail farming here, I think I've gotten that question like so much. As I've said before, for someone asking for castor production too, we've done almost all of those trainings in Farm Global Technologies. Stay tuned to the pages that you are. For people that are in all of our regiment pages, from like regiment 1 to 10, different WhatsApp pages, just stay there. For people in our agribusiness master classes, the WhatsApp pages, stay there. Information will be dished out to you, and stay tuned to the end of the program so that I can share some of the upcoming trainings too with you. For someone from Ghana who want to start commercial farming and need partnership, please network, build your business plan, work on your business, have the right pitch decks, work on yourself, then reach out to people that have same like minds with you, that are in the same, sector with you and all of that. Then submit your business plan to them, submit your plans to them, and they will see if they can partner or not. I think the agricultural space is the best to actually get partners, because as I've said when we started, we have so much love in this sector. Sincerely, we have so much love in this sector. So thank you very much. We'll be moving to the next thing on the agenda, which is some minutes, please. All right, I hope everyone can hear me. Kindly let's pay attention. We are almost at the end of the
sincerely appreciate the panelists tonight, Mr. Babatunde Laliwaju and Oyedin Osame. Thanks so much. We really appreciate your wonderful contributions. So while she's checking other things, we want you to share your social media handles, so that people that wants to reach out to you can do that. Mr. Timothy, please share your social media handles on on the page for everyone, how can people reach you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you, sir. I will do that right away.
Okay. And then, Babatunde, how can people reach you too? How can people reach Food Talks? How can people reach out to you on your social media handles? So you have to follow these people. You know, once you follow them, they dish out a lot of interesting and educative info on their timelines almost every day. So that you don't miss out on these things, you have to follow them. Okay. Okay. Oyediran Samuel, are you there? Okay, you can just type in your social media handles and send to the, okay. So for Olariwaju Babatunde, you can reach out to him on LinkedIn through o.babatunde@foodtalks.com. His email is o.babatunde@foodtalks.com or info@foodtalksconsult.com. Twitter @babati2011. On LinkedIn, Emmanuel Babatunde Olariwaju. Okay.
You can use the name Babatunde on my Facebook, on my Instagram. Just put Olariwaju Babatunde Emmanuel.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Adari. And I hope everyone is checking the chat box to get these information. If I were you, I will start messaging them now.
We will also post them on
following
our,
them.
We will also post them on our WhatsApp group, so that everybody can.
All right, thank you very much. So let me just go to the second to the last thing that we have to do today. So as I've said that we have different pages.
Sorry, please. Mr. Timothy has dropped his phone. So email
timayod@gmail.com.
timayod@gmail.com. The
Yeah,
Instagram,
so
Timothy Ayodele.
Yeah, just Google, just search for that and
yeah.
you would.
LinkedIn, Timothy Ayodele, Twitter, Timothy Ayodele. Make sure you follow these people now.
You can also add that.
So all these things will be posted into the WhatsApp group. So if you want to start your retirement plan now, please hold on to them. Hold on to their trousers.
You have a farm, you want to insure, you want to get certifications, you can reach out to Mr. Babatunde. You want to go on cassava farming and all of that stuffs, you can reach out to Mr. Timothy. You want to do poultry, you can reach out.
Okay, you can go on to the next agenda.
All right, thank you, sir. So for the next agenda, as I've said, which is kindly stay tuned. We are almost done. We have probably 10 minutes more. You that you've been waiting for almost 2 hours, you now want to start running away, you better come back. Thank you very much. So, as I've said that Farm Global Technologies, one of the things that we do presently is training and development. For every sector that you are, we have a training for it. And how do we have a training for all of them? Because that would be a question in someone's mind. The reason we have training for almost all these sectors is because we have partners in every agribusiness space. We have partners in almost every agribusiness space. So, we have some upcoming trainings in May. I hope everyone can see my face. You can see how I'm trying to demonstrate to you. So we have some upcoming trainings in the month of May. And the first one is cassava production. We have cassava production coming up this month. We have poultry production coming up this month. So everything about poultry production, we have some of those trainings, we have business plans for them, like already written business plans that you can use. So, we have cassava, we have training coming up on cassava production, we have poultry production, we have cucumber stroke watermelon, then we have aquaculture, which is fish production. So these 4 trainings are coming up in the month of May. And we have this juicy offer for you. We just have this juicy offer for you. So actually, the payment for the training really is for the Ghanaians. The payment is 228 cedis per one of those courses. So you just choose one of these courses. Note that the amount you are paying for this course is you are paying for one of the courses, not all of them. Please note every statement I'm saying and the way I'm saying it, so that you don't finish paying for the course and you're like, Shebi, you said, you know how we do in Africa now. God bless us. So, for each of those training is actually going for 228 cedis per course. And in Naira is 10,500 Naira per course. But if you are part of this training, you will be paying for the Ghanaians, you'll be paying 122 Ghana cedis per course and 5,350 Naira per course. Now, if you want to go for, all of those trainings, you'll be paying, for three of these courses, you'll be paying 275 Ghana cedis and 12,350 Naira. That's for Nigerians. Then for 4 courses, if you want to take all of the 4 courses, I will definitely still put this on our WhatsApp pages. So you'll be paying 361 Ghana cedis for the Ghanaians, and you'll be paying for Nigerians 17,500 Naira for the 4 courses. So I hope we get that. If you did not get what I said, please, you can check the chat boxes for you to get the information and get it right. So let me conclude so that we can go.
And
all right.
Let me add something to that.
All right, sir.
And this training is going to be online so that all Africans can benefit. People in Ghana, people in Nigeria, people in Kenya can benefit. So what you just need to do is go through that link and you find the payment details and what the trainings are all about. Then this training, if you are taking up the discount offer, the early bird offer, you have to pay in the next 24 hours, after which the price will go back to the normal prices. So if you are going to take advantage of all this offer, being worker days offer, you just have to register now. If not, by the time you come back tomorrow, it will have gone back to the normal prices. And trust me, you are really going to benefit a lot, because I've been seeing a lot of people saying they want to go into cassava, they want to go into poultry, they want to go into this. And for that cassava, it's going to be cassava production and value addition. So you are getting a whole lot of value. Mr. Timothy is one of our trainers and is really a very fantastic trainer. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Dari. So I think for this training, some of the things that we've gotten is the fact that for you, when you want to retire or before you retire, kindly start something in the agribusiness sector. Now, before you start to do your market research, don't just do what everybody is doing. Explore all other space, all other sectors. Don't just do what everybody is doing. Try as much as possible to get partners. Try as much as possible to network so that your journey and sojourn through the sector can be much more easier. So thank you very much. Thank you all for joining. We really appreciate all of you. So someone is asking that for Ghanaians on the platform, we are not differentiating Ghanaian page and Nigerian page. Everybody is on that page. Network with yourself, reach out to yourself, reach out to one another. I can even see presently on this page, I think someone is reaching out to an investor already. I could see on the chat box. So, if you use this opportunity well, there are some times that the page will be open, and will allow you to, tell us what your business is all about. what you are really doing, you can actually get people that want to invest in your business. So, for people that are skeptical about what Farm Global is doing and what we offer, just stay tuned sincerely, and a trial will definitely convince you. So thank you very much. I don't know if there is anything that Mr. Dare wants to add, but in all honesty, I believe that we've tried for this Workers' Day, and I believe that you've also gained one or two things. So thank you very much. I remain Adioba Mary. Have a great night. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, Mary. I have something to add to what you just said the last time. When you want to network with one another, please do due diligence, because Farm Global Technologies or Davos Technology Hub will not be responsible for any, anything, any negative impact of that. So make sure you do your due diligence very, very well before you, don't go and pay money to somebody and probably you get scammed in the end. Just make sure you do your findings well and make sure that you are dealing with, if you want to network, there's nothing bad in network, but whenever you want to network, make sure you do your due diligence. So I want to appreciate all the panelists once again. I think, Oyedele Samuel wants to talk. Okay, you have something to say? Please unmute yourself.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. I want to encourage all the retirees and all the farmers that when you are going to the agricultural sector, let your personality come through. What do I mean? Do you have a large area of land in your community that you have access to, that your father owns? Go into production. Don't compete with those that are in Lagos that are going to processing. Are you in Lagos? Buy from those that have land, process and sell. Do you have a big house in your family? You can go to agro storage. Do you have a car? Go into logistics. So the value chain is so wide that every worker and every retiree can play in. Thank you so much. That's just my little conclusion.
Thank you very, very much. You haven't dropped your details. Please send in your details, your social media handles, and send it to the link so that people can connect with you on all your social media platforms. Thank you, Mr. Timothy.
Yeah,
Samuel,
thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. It's
Pleasure.
a nice one. We are so much grateful, for always answering our call whenever we call. It's been a wonderful experience with you so far. Thank you, Babatunde. Thank you, Samuel. We really appreciate it. And to all African workers, once again, I want to say Happy International Workers' Day. Please, you can unmute yourself and just, greet yourself, whatever you enjoy in this stream, just say it. So if you are gained value, let us know.
Nice to be with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Well, it's really been a good one.
Thank you very much.
Love to be here again.
We are done with the training now, so you can start existing the page. And if you feel you have something to just say, you can unmute and say it. Thank you. Positive vibes
I have
only.
something to say.
All right, thank you.
I've been asking questions because there's a possibility of me investing in oil palm farming. I've been asking questions on your page. I mean, on the chat box, but no one seems to answer the question.
Wow, so sorry about that. Were you the one asking about oil palm farming?
Exactly.
Just saying that. Wow, I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry. So they are trainings. We have a specific training for cash crop. We grouped all of them into cash crop production.
Okay.
I don't know if you get that. So we grouped all of them into cash crop production. So what you will just do is that, as I've said, just stay tuned to all our pages. For each month, we have different trainings for different sectors. And I
Okay.
don't know if you were the one that talked about investment in agriculture yesterday. If you were the one, please kindly wait till you go through this training before you invest into cash crop production. I hope you get my answer, right?
No problem. No problem.
All right. Thank you very much. And I really apologize for not concentrating on your questions. It was not to insult your pedigree. It was just an oversight. Thank you.
All right. Hello, I want to say this. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed this training. It was so impactful. Being also from the agro-allied services background, I have gained so much from this training. I would like this to continue. As in, I would like to have more of this training in the future with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. You can now exit the page. If you have anything to say, you can unmute and say it. We are waiting so that we can attend to everyone. We don't want to overlook anybody's suggestions, questions. So if you have something to say, unmute and say it. That's why we are waiting. We'll have left the page. And if you don't have anything to say, you can just leave the page. Thank you. So I'm waiting. I think someone wanted to say something now. You have the floor. Thank you.
Okay, I think I joined this training at a later part because I think I was having challenge with my data. But when I connected, you were already, into the session. But just a few things that I had, I was impacted by that. It's always important to gain knowledge, even when you know. Because the more you know, it makes you better. So yes, we also want to say thank you, and then especially since you're a female, I would want to also say congrats. It's not easy. I mean, being in a male-dominated field, but I think you are really doing a very good job. I pray for more grace for you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So we can leave the page, and if we have something to say, we can say it. Thank you very much. You have the floor if you have anything to say. All right. So I think I'll be leaving the page now. So bye-bye, everyone. We meet on our WhatsApp page. So discussions will continue on the WhatsApp page. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Topper, it's nice seeing you again.
Oh, hi, Mr. Dari.
Yeah.
Nice to be here as well. I just joined in. I've been around for
time
as well, just listening. Basically.
You're welcome. I'm just seeing you now. Oh, thank you. So, all right, good night, everyone. God bless you. Happy Workers' Days once again. Bye-bye.